Well, the soy is definitely starting to dry out. Tested it a couple days ago before it rained again, and it was coming in around 14%, so combine can get started in pretty much any time. You just need a couple days for the field to dry out again. Then it's on to harvest. Little road made across the field, lost a few beans there, but gotta get from point A to point B. Nice and brown. That's basically what I'm looking for. Yeah, it feels moist. Wow, 2 beans. It's pretty much standard. Should be 3, but the quick crunch test and doesn't taste good. So I'd say that's probably testing in around 18% from the feel of that one. We see what we get. Field's nice, pretty much everything's standing. And got a road along the side of the field for the truck to get in. You'll probably be loading closer to the highway, considering we've only got this field and then just over the side of that brush line. It's all the soy we have, so maybe 1.5 truckloads done, off to the dryer and then off to the port. Continuing on with the renovations, that auger has seen better days, but I may be able to cut it and put a new bearing on, or move the bearing and have a short auger for loading trailers. We'll see when I get around to it. That's just one more job I can never get around to. Silo will eventually be for storage of soy. But have to get around to that. Need a place to store the corn first, and so we're putting in a new silo right here as soon as I can get permits together and the dealer's ready to move and get the pad cemented. Then after that, next year's plan is going to be probably to put in a dryer of my own so that I can keep my humidity adjusted right and be done with it. Problem with having the silo here, I got a road going down into the back fields. I'm gonna have to move the road. Not a big deal. Lose a few feet of soy field or corn or whatever I'm gonna grow here next year. I think this will be corn. Then I'll have soy probably down in the distance there, just 20 acres or so, maybe 30, depending on how the hayfield down there looks. If I rip that up and replant it. And then I got fields way at the back. Got nearly 70 acres over at the back there. That'll be corn. This will be corn here. We'll get it done. I'm still working on plans. I may end up putting corn down here because the fields had more matter built up in it. Might do the back fields to get soy for next year, or a couple of the fields. Trying to get a 3-year rotation. Soy, corn, corn, but it all depends on... Pretty much just depends on whatever crops want to do, what weather gives me in the spring. If I can get on early enough to get corn in, then I want to do as much corn as I can. It's profitable, but I still need to have some rotation in the fields too, so 2-year rotation or 3-year rotation seems to work well. The way farm always had run here was 1 crop for everything. I ain't doing that if I can help it. 1 crop is 1 risk. If something goes wrong, and insurance will not pay what I can make sending it to market. So by having at least 2 crops in rotation every year, at least I'm hedging my bets. If 1 crop fails, I still have another one that'll bring in profit. Insurance will pay for seeding, pay for the seed, pay for fertilizer, pay for spraying it. That's about it. Don't have anything left over. The money I'm hemorrhaging upgrading the farm, I need to see some income. But everything I'm investing in right now, it's all looking like a 10-year plan to pay itself off and then start generating revenue. Put in a dryer, well, maybe I can get contract work with it. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to spend a lot of money on a dryer. I just want a small one with probably just a small wet bin feeding into it. So, gonna have a little elevator set up to load either silo and unload from either silo, and be able to back a truck right in here, get it loaded, and be done. Be a control panel sitting somewhere in between them, and then hopefully when I get a dryer in, same control panel will run it. But that's next year's plan, because I sure don't have money this year to do anything more. It's bad enough just the price of putting in another silo. But 10 years, the silo will pay for itself. But I'm also hemorrhaging a lot of money on the house that can't be seen through the trees at the moment. Slowly getting it renovated, putting in a geothermal heat pump, because power and heating oil cost way too much now. Spend more on a furnace, but drop the consumption bills by a lot. Of course, putting insulation in the house helps too. Guess I should pick up the kids' pool at some point that they deflated and left in the middle of the yard. We're ready to start harvesting soy anytime. I'll try to get some videos when the equipment rolls in.